Hello, I am Víctor Paredes. I am the product manager of Moho. And in this tutorial, I want to show you how we can recreate this illustration made by Alexander Kaida. This is a bitmap character, so it is an image, and we want to reproduce it using the tools of Moho and the new graphics engine and the new effects. So to do that, first I'm going to duplicate this character, so I will send the duplicate to the side so I can see both characters. So maybe I will put one here and the other one here. Okay, I'm just using the transform bone tool to move the character. Alright, and I'm going to start tracing the one on the right. Okay, so I will create a new vector layer here. And now I will create a group, so I will put the vector layer inside of the group. Alright, and let's call this group head. Okay, so I'm going to just draw a simple circle. I will turn off autofill and auto stroke, and I will select a circle here because I'm just going to draw this shape. So it's going to be very simple here, and now I will change the curvature to match with this. So let's say something like that. Alright, so I'm trying to get it as close as possible to the original character. So now I'm going to paint this circle. I will use the create shape tool and just create a shape with this. And now I'm going to pick the color, one color from this, but I want to pick like some kind of neutral color, something like in the middle, maybe around here. So let's say this is like the neutral color of this character. All right, and now I'm going to hide the stroke. So I have this, and now I'm going to create a new layer. Okay, and I'm going to call this new layer shine. There. So in this new layer I'm going to paint, do you see that there is some shine here? I'm going to paint that. So I'm just going to paint a circle. This time I will use the autofill option. So let's just paint a circle around here, I guess. I'm just guessing here. And I will pick the color from the shine. And now I will set an effect for this. So I will just click, I have the shape selected with the select shape tool. And now I will come here to effect and select soft edge. So here I can select how big I want my soft edge to be. So let's suppose something like that. And now I will adapt this here. And let me just hide the original illustration here. And you can see that the shape is actually going outside of the border of the head. So to solve that, I will create a mask. So since I have the head layer at the bottom and the shine at the top, I can simply right click here, go to group mask and select mask inside of bottom layer. So when I do that, now the shine will be masked inside of the bottom layer. Alright, and now maybe I can change the blending mode of the shine. So I can just try different blending modes here to see something that could work more like a shine. Maybe this luminosity one. So now what I can do is I will select this shape and I will change the color of this shape. So maybe it needs to be a bit lighter. This is a lot of like guessing. I'm trying to get something close to it, but I don't know if I will be able to fully reproduce that. But at least I want to get something that could look, maybe it's a bit more yellow and maybe with more alpha. Or maybe it's actually not luminosity. Let me just cancel that. Let me try something else. So maybe it's this color a bit lighter but with alpha. Okay, let's say it is something like this. So I have this shine working, and then I can select the shape, I can go to soft edge, and maybe I can increase the soft edge. So you can see the shine now is working in a different way. And now maybe I can create a second circle with this tool. And I will just make the circle to have more opacity and maybe less soft edge. So you can see we have some kind of shine here. And I still feel this is too white. I need it to be more yellow. So I will try to change the blending mode to something different. So I'm not sure about this. Maybe it's color dodge, but very, very light, and maybe a bit lighter here. Maybe this could work. So very light, like that. I'm not very sure about this. Let me just try different. But again, it's just a lot of trial and error to get exactly the, not exactly, but to get a similar color. So let's just keep this as that. Okay, this is close enough. All right, now you can see it also has some shading at the borders here. So what I'm going to do is I will create a new vector layer, and since this vector layer is inside of the same group, it's also going to be masked. So I will call this shading, and now I will just draw another circle here. This circle is white and with soft edge because it is using the properties of the last thing that I painted. So I will just set this to be a bit darker, maybe like that, and let me try a different blending mode for this one too. So maybe it can be overlay. Maybe overlay is a nice one. So I can do that, and maybe it needs to have some more alpha here. But anyway, I'm trying to get close to this, so now I can copy and paste this circle and put it at the other side. Around there. And now I can combine these two. And maybe I need another circle here, because you know the eyes there are a bit darker, so I'm going to create something darker here. Let's say that. Alright, so I'm trying to reproduce this. Now let me show the file again, the original illustration, and I will hide this. I just want to be sure that I am matching my shapes with the original illustration. Okay, so let's say something like that. Maybe this needs to be a bit more yeah, it's maybe the green color here is working better. So you can see I'm trying to get this tone here. Okay, so let's say we have this, and now you can see we have some kind of blue light coming from here. So I'm going to duplicate the shading here, so I have the second shading, but now I'm going to just remove everything I have in the duplicate and create a new circle. Normally I just draw circles at the beginning, so create a new circle, and this circle is going to be blue. I will just set this blue color for now, and maybe the blending mode needs to be different. So yeah, this is closer actually. It could be a screen. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm happy with the screen. So now maybe I can change the opacity a little bit, and maybe the blue, let me see, it can be more intense. Yeah, let's say something like that. So now I have that shine working there. Alright, so now I have the first part of the character. It's practically done. It's not exactly the same. I have actually this shine here is maybe it is too much, so I will just move it up and make the opacity lower. Okay, so maybe I don't need to have that much, but you can see how I am recreating this illustration here. So now let's go with the nose. So I will first call this group head. So now I will just close it, and now I will create a new vector layer, and I will call it nose, and group with selection, and I will call the group nose. So now let me just show the original illustration, and I will start drawing the nose. So I want to hide the head here, and I will draw the main shape of the nose. So in this case, I will reset. I don't want to use the soft edge or any opacity here, so I will just reset, and I will select a color from here. So again, I want to try to select some neutral color, maybe here. All right, and I will draw a circle first because I like to draw circles first. Let me just show the curves. and I will adapt the curves, and actually I can hide the nose now, so you can see here it's actually a sharp corner, and I will add an extra point here and another one here. I'm trying to reproduce the shape of the nose. Maybe it will be like that, and I have the nose on top of the head. Alright, so now I will create a new vector layer and I will call this shine. Okay, and now we want to reproduce the shine that is here on top. So I'm going to create another oval here, right? And this oval is going to be maybe white, full white for now, and it is going to have soft edge again. So I will define how much of the soft edge I want, and I will change the blending mode to something that could look closer to this. So maybe overlay is looking nice. I like that. And again, I will create a mask from this group. So I will right click on the group, group mask, mask inside of the bottom layer. So now the shine is not going outside of the nose. I got this. Now I can copy and paste this circle because I want to create that extra shine here. But actually maybe this extra shine I will have to separate it in a different layer. So I will cut this. I will create a new layer. I will paste this. Now you can see the shine is here. So maybe I need less soft edge here. And maybe again change the blending mode to something that could look closer. Maybe this one is green, and maybe with some opacity and less soft edge, maybe something around there. So now I'm going to hide my character, but with the shine selected because I want to actually match this here. Alright, so now I have my nose and I have my shine there, around there. Something fun is happening actually with the blending mode. Maybe we'll try a different blending mode here. Maybe color dodge, and maybe the shine can be a bit bigger. Alright, let's say something like that. And now let me just call this shine 2. Alright, so now I'm going to create a new layer and I will call this shading, and I will draw something. Again, I will draw a circle. I like to draw circles, but in this case it is going to go up like that, and I will add some extra points here, maybe around there. So now I will define the color. So the color, maybe I will just pick it from here, and the shading is going to be a bit bigger. Just show that, and maybe this is going to be a sharp corner to make it easier to manipulate. I will just set this to be sharp, and let me try with different blending modes. I will hide the points here, and maybe it can be multiply, maybe luminosity, but I think I prefer multiply in this case. So it can be multiply, but I will select the shape and change the opacity. So yeah, I'm getting something close to this. It's not exactly the same again, but the idea is to get close. Alright, so we have the main shape of the nose. Now I will select the shine, and actually I'm going to select this shape here. Do you remember the shine shape? And I am selecting it just to copy the same values. So now when I create a new shape here, it will have the same values. So basically what I want to do here is I want to create two circles here, and there are going to be this little shine here under the holes of the nose. So let me just hide my character here because I want to make it match maybe around here with the holes. So let's say something like that. Alright. Okay, it's still different, but we're kind of close. So now inside of the nose, I'm going to create a new vector layer. I will call this vector layer holes. And I will draw the holes here. So let me just hide all this. Again, I will draw circles, but now I want to reset the color because I don't want the soft edge or anything like that. I just want to paint a normal shape here. So I just created one circle here. One tip, if I have one point selected of a shape and I press tab, it will select all the connected points. So I do that a lot, like I'm just modifying something and then I press tab, copy and paste, and now I have the second circle and I can flip it here. So now we have the second circle, and I will select this paint, this fill, and I will take, again, I will try to take like a neutral color for that. So yeah, maybe the shine here, now that I have the holes created, I can see that the shine maybe is a bit too big there. Yeah, I like that. Alright, so, but now you can see the holes, they have their own shading. So what I'm going to do is to create a new group for the holes. So I will group this with selection. And now I will create a new vector layer for that. And I will actually paint a circle here. And let me just pick this color here, and I will set soft edge again. So maybe like that. So I'm trying to reproduce that little gradient it has. And let me try some blending mode to see if any, maybe this one, the screen is working nicely. Alright, so I have this shine being applied inside of the nose. So since I want this shape to be always inside of the nose, I will right click this group now, and I will group mask inside of the bottom layer. So now this shape is only visible inside of the nose. So I will copy and paste this, and now I have that gradient. Okay, now I will copy and paste both of them, and I will try to change the color here. Maybe this is going to work directly. Yeah, it's kind of similar. Yeah, maybe around there. Alright, so now we have the shading of this, and I will call this group holes. Alright, and now the holes also, if I move the holes, they are masked inside of the nose. Okay, so I have a mask inside of a mask. Let me see what else we have here. Alright, so let's draw now the eyes. So I will just close my nose, and actually I will select these two groups, and I will group with selection. So I will call this entire selection character. Okay, so this is the group that contains my entire character. Alright, let's try to reproduce this little white shape here, you know, under the nose. So I will just create a new vector layer here. I'm not sure about how I'm going to do this, but of course I'm going to draw a circle first. This is looking nice already, I think. So I have this circle here. I will pick the color, and look at that. It's almost working already. So we have that, and maybe we'll change the blending mode. So maybe we'll find something that matches better. Or maybe not. Yeah, screen maybe. Okay, I will just set the screen here. And maybe we'll have two shapes actually. We'll copy and paste this shape. And I will select this second shape, and I will put it under the other one by pressing down on the keyboard. And this second shape will have way less opacity, and maybe it's going to be a more orange. Let me try that. Yeah, it's not exactly this, but okay, let's say something like this. Okay, this is close enough. Alright, so we have that. Let me just hide the other character. So yeah, we're getting close. Of course, it's not exactly the same, but we are getting close with this. So now I will call, I don't know how to call this, like nose top, I guess. And actually maybe I can put it inside of the nose. I'm going to do this. I will put this inside of the nose group, but I will set the layer to don't mask this layer. So now it's part of the group, but it's not being part of the mask of the nose. Okay, so we can keep everything in order there. Now let's paint the, I don't know how they call this, but these teeth. So they should be behind the nose, around here. I will show the original character because I want to paint this, and guess what I'm going to create here? A little oval. And maybe I need an extra point here. I'm just adapting all this. And now I will paint this one. Actually, this one is white already. So let me just select like some kind of neutral color. Maybe it's around here. Okay, so this is like the neutral color of this. We are going to create the shine and the shading too. So I will group with selection. I will call this group teeth. Okay, and I will copy and paste this one and flip it to put it at the other side. Now I will adapt the points. It's almost the same there. There. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new vector layer, and we are going to create the shine for this. So I'm going to call this shine, and I'm going to create a circle. And it's going to be probably very close to white, and it's going to have some soft edge. You can see it's getting closer to that, but of course I need to create a mask here because I don't want that to be outside of the teeth. So I will go to group mask and mask inside of the bottom layer. So now we have that shine working here, and yeah, it's nice so far. So I will copy and paste it and put it here, trying to follow whatever this other part is doing. Alright, and now I'm going to create a new vector layer, and I will call this shading. So we are going to create the first shade. So again, I'm going to create a circle here, just adapt it. And now I'm going to pick, I'm not sure about the color, I'm just going to pick that color, but I want to change the blending mode. Maybe there is something here. I think this one is closer. I set color, and maybe, yeah, I think it's a bit more alive, but more violet. Okay, let's say something like that. I know it's not exactly the same, but works well enough for this. I have this, and I will copy and paste and put this one here too, so we have that shine too. And actually this one should be maybe a bit lighter, like that. And we are still missing another shine here, sorry, another shading here, so I will just create another shape, and I will paint this one darker. Maybe, yeah, maybe kind of bluish to get that color with some opacity maybe. Okay, let's say something like that. So now I have this, and I will actually copy and paste this one also here. So we have a shading here, and I will copy and paste and have the shading applied here too. But actually I want it to be darker here. I'm not sure about how visible this really is now. Maybe it needs to have less soft edge. I think actually the blending mode is not really helping me here. I will change it. So maybe overlay will be better. So now with overlay I will set this color to be a bit lighter, less opacity. And the same for this one. It's going to have more transparency here. Maybe this one is going to come in like that. Maybe I can copy and paste this one because I think it has like an extra shine here. So I will copy and paste this one, And finally, I'm going to take this one and make it way darker. Maybe not blue, maybe like that. So this is like the shadow of the nose over the teeth. So I will copy and paste this one and I also apply it here. In this case, actually this shadow I will cut these shapes and I will create a new vector layer and put it here, and I will set a special blending mode for it because the other blending mode wasn't affecting when things were white. So I guess soft light could work. Let me try that. No, actually it doesn't work too well, so no, I don't like overlay difference. Let's try with luminosity and just change the opacity here and maybe the color. Okay, and maybe the soft edge is too high. I'm going to reduce this one. Okay, so less soft edge and less opacity. I think we are getting closer. All right. Let's say this is done. Okay, maybe the shine is we'll copy and paste this. I want to have it even more white here, so I will just copy and paste that. Okay, let's suppose I'm happy with this, right? So I have this side by side. I will save this file, so I will just call it board here, just in case. And now let me think what we can do now. Let's create the eyes. All right, so let me just show this file again, and now the eyes should be in top of the head but below the nose and the teeth. So I will create a new vector layer here. I will call this eyes, and I will create an oval. I'll reset this, so I will have two ovals here, there, and another one around here. Now I will select the shapes and pick this color. Now I have the base of the eyes down here. And now I will create a group with selections. I will call eyes group. And now I will create a new vector layer here. I will call it shine. And we are going to draw a circle here, but it's going to be white and it's going to have soft edge. Not too much, like that, and maybe more opacity. And now I'm going to change the blending mode to something more interesting. Maybe this, and let me change the color. Maybe I need. Well, I think I like this more, so I will just copy and paste this one and put it here. And of course I need to create a mask for this, so I will just create a mask there. So you can see I'm creating like many layers, but nothing too complex is really happening. It's just creating masks and different shapes, but this is done basically with circles and they are distorted. So now I will create a new vector layer. I will call it shine 2, and I want to create this circle here, the little circle. So I will reset this, create the little shine here, and copy and paste it here. Okay, so now maybe I will add some soft edge. I'm not sure about this. Let me try. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add soft edge to 1. I will set the blending mode to linear dodge, but now I'm going to copy these two circles again, and I will select the shapes of the copies, and I will set blur to 0. So now I have two circles there, and I think that, yeah, that looks a bit closer. Now that I have the eyes, I can tell that the darker part of the head is not really matching this, so I'm going to go back to the head and go to this one, and I will select these two circles here, and I will make them way darker. Maybe another color too. Let me try different colors. Okay, I will do that, but now what I'm going to do is to copy these two circles here, and I will create a new vector layer, and I will paste them here. So now they can have a different blending mode if I want. So maybe luminosity could work. It could be multiply, or it could be luminosity. Let me see. Okay, let's go with multiply. I will just adapt this. Maybe now I can make them a bit darker. Okay. Alright, let's say something like that. It's not, again, it's not exactly the same, but we are trying to get close to it. Let me just hide that. So now, yeah, you can start comparing the vector version and the bitmap version. Something that I'm still not happy with is this part. I think it should be more transparent, like that. I'm still not happy with the color we got here. Actually, maybe I will just remove this extra circle. I don't think it's adding too much. Okay. So now let's going to create this white part here. So this part is again on top of the head. So I will create a vector layer on top of the head, and I will group with selection already. So I will show this, and now I will just create another circle. I like to create circles, ovals, whatever. So I will just start modifying the points here, and maybe I will add a couple more points here and another here. Okay, so let's say we have something like this. Now I will pick the color. Again, I will try to pick like a neutral color from this shape. I guess it's around here. Alright, so I will hide the original. Look how beautiful this looks. Now I think this shape has a little bit of soft edge, so I will apply maybe 1 pixel of soft edge, not too much, just 1. Alright, and now I will call this, I don't know how to call this actually. I will just call it white part. And now I will create a new vector layer and call this vector layer shine. Okay, so now I'm going to create the shine here. So another circle. I will just paint it white for now and with more soft edge. Okay, and I will mask it. Mask this layer, so mask inside of the bottom layer. We have this shine. Of course this shine is not working at all, but don't worry about that yet. So blending mode, let me try different blending modes here. I think luminosity could work, but in a way lower opacity there. So maybe something like that. And here there should be a little bit of shading, and then actually this shape, I think it travels. So now we are going to add the blue part here. So I'm going to create a new vector layer and a new oval here, and I want this oval to be kind of blue. Let's see how this works here. So maybe, yeah, maybe something around there. Okay, we'll hit OK. Now I have that blue shape here, and I want to also fix a little bit the curvature of this. This curve is not very pretty. Okay, but we have this now, and finally the only thing missing here is the shadow of the teeth over this white part. So I'm going to create a new layer here and I'm going to create a circle again, but this time it's going to be darker. Yeah, maybe like that. I think this is kind of good already. Copy and paste here, and this here. Okay, let's say there. And so now we are going to create the mouth here. Alright, so I will create a new vector layer, and I will group with selection here. Now I will create the mouth, so I want to show the mouth here. I will just create something like that, very simple. And there. Okay, so I will just paint this one. I will reset the colors because I don't want any shading or anything like that, and I will paint it with the kind of neutral color here. Remove the stroke, and there we have it. So now we have the mouth, and of course now we need to paint the internal part of the mouth, and actually I'm going to call this mouth, and also this one, it's going to be called mouth. But now, before doing that, I want to paint these lips here. You can see we have some shine and some shadow here, so I want to paint this. So maybe with the shine layer here, I'll just paint an extra shine. Let me see if this works. I think maybe it's too blurry. Yeah, maybe less blurry, like that. And with some opacity, so maybe around there. And even less opacity. Okay, let's say something like that. And actually I'm going to copy and paste this because I want to have a smaller part here. Maybe this one with more opacity, so it will be like an extra shine, and maybe this one with less blur. Let's see, okay, so we have the shine, and actually I'm going to put the shine on top of the shadow here, and maybe we'll use the same layer here to create this shadow here. Maybe this one needs to be a bit darker. Well, it's not exactly this, but I think we are getting closer. Now the shine, I think it's too big and too bright. Yeah, maybe around here. Okay, again, it's not exactly the same, but we got the sensation of that. Now let's see how the tongue is created. So I'm going to create a new vector layer here, and I will call it tongue. And let me just hide the entire character. I want to draw some points here for the tongue. So I will just draw a few points here, change the curvature, and add a couple bones here. So we have the main shape of the tongue. Maybe there. Alright, so now I'm going to paint this, show everything, and I will reset the color. and set some neutral color for the tongue, maybe something a bit lighter there, and I will mask this group. So now the tongue is inside of the mouth, and now I'm going to create the shine of the tongue. So yeah, this one is a bit tricky, so I think there's some kind of shape coming here like that, but with a sharp corner here. Let me try that. So I'm just painting this, and I will select this and create some soft edge for this, maybe around there, and I want to apply some blending mode. I'm not sure about which one. So maybe screen. And I'm going to paint this a bit more red, but with less opacity. Okay, let's say something like that. Okay, so we have this shine there, and now we are going to paint some shading. So you can see here there is a shade around there, so I'm going to reproduce that with a circle again. So this circle is going to be darker and probably with less blur thing around there. Yeah, maybe that. I think the shine is too bright. We need something like this. And now we have this extra, like this fold here. We are going to try to reproduce that. So with the same shading layer, this one, I'm going to draw a little triangle here. Maybe there, and I will paint this only the fill. So now I have this triangle and it has soft edge, but maybe this is too much. Maybe there, 1 pixel of soft edge. I know this is very different for now, but I'm going to change the opacity first. And maybe I will apply a little bit more of soft edge, maybe 2 or 3 pixels there. And now what I'm going to do is to copy and paste this one. So paste it on top and make it more visible here, and with less soft edge. So basically I'm going to try to reproduce that gradient using more than one shape. So it is still a lot, but I think we are getting closer. So maybe this one, the triangle that is behind, this one should be a bit bigger and maybe a bit darker actually. Okay, it's not exactly that, but we are close. And now I'm going to create some shading on top of the tongue. You can see we can have that. I'm just copying and pasting some of the shapes here. And for this shading I will apply more soft edge there. And finally, I think that between the mouth and the tongue there is this kind of red shape, so I will create a new layer here. And I will just create a circle here with that red shape around there. Something like that, I guess. Okay, let's say I'm ready here. I know it's not exactly the same, but it is close enough to continue. Okay, so now let me hide the original. So this is how it is looking in comparison. Let's create, let me just call, okay, this is the white part. Okay, So now I'm going to create a new vector layer, put it under the white part, and we are going to create just this orange part behind. So I will just create a circle here, reset it because I don't want to see any soft edges there. So we are just going to put this here. Let me just hide this to compare, but yeah, now it looks a bit more like the original one. Alright, we can also apply some gradients here, so I'm going to group this, and I will call this orange bottom or something like that. So I will create a new layer here, create a little oval with some soft edge, and I will paint this one a bit blue. I will just put it here. Maybe it has too much soft edge, so I'm going to reduce that, and we are going to try a different blending mode. So maybe the hue one. Yeah, let me try the hue one. Okay, I'm going to make it a bit darker. Okay, let's say that. I know it's, again, it's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. Okay, and at the other side we will have another color here, but in this case it's going to be more yellow and maybe a bit lighter. I don't think I can make it lighter with this blending mode, so I will cut this circle, create a new vector layer, paste it here. Actually, I need to create a mask with this. Alright, so it is pasted here. It's going to be a bit lighter, maybe like that. Alright, so let's say we have the bottom part working. Now let's create this, I don't know how to call this, weird cheeks. So we are going to create that. Oh, actually, this orange bottom part, it should go down here. It shouldn't be that high. Let me just try that. You can see there is no bottom part there. So, okay. So now we are going to create this kind of mustache. I'm going to call it like that. Okay, so let me hide my layer and I will start drawing this. So I will use sharp corner this time. I'm using the add point tool. So I will just draw that shape here, change the curvature to get closer to the original shape. Okay, almost there. So okay, so this is the, let's say this is the shape. I will paint it. I will reset the color, and I will pick some neutral portion of the color. I guess it's this one. All right. So now we need to shade this. So I will create a new vector layer, create a mask for this, and I will draw the first shiny part on top. So it is going to have this color, and it's going to have soft edge again. Let's say that. Okay, and then we have another shine here. So I'm going to copy and paste this one and put it around here, but in this case this one is a bit more pale and a bit blue, I think. So maybe with more opacity. Okay, let's say something like that, right? So we have the general shape here, and finally at the bottom here we have something darker. We are going to apply that. but actually this darker part should also be applied to the bottom orange part. So I'm going to copy this shape. So I will copy it and I will go to the orange bottom and something weird is happening here. Let me go to the quick settings. Why? All right, there. So now I'm going to create a new layer here and paste this shape, because basically I want to have the same color applied here and there. As you can see, we need to blend them. So I will try to blend them with this color around there. Yeah, I think something like that. So now I can come back here and you can see it's almost the same color now. Let me just come back here and now we have some darker part around here. And then we have to create this. These parts are always tricky because we have like this very straight line with a gradient. So let's see how we create that. I will create a new layer here. Let me see. So again, I will create a little triangle here. And I will apply shape here with some blur. Probably less blur. I mean soft edge. Okay, now I will put it here and I will set the opacity a bit lower. Alright, and I will move it down because I don't want this white part to go to the other side here. Okay, so I have that, but now I will copy and paste this, make the copy a bit smaller, but also make the soft edge smaller. So maybe this one can have less opacity also, and could be around here, maybe a bit more of opacity. Maybe a bit lighter even. Okay, this is too white. I'm going to reduce that a lot. Okay, let's say here. So we have this kind of triangular shape here, and I will set the soft edge for this a bit smaller too. And the opacity lower. And now I will copy and paste this again. I'm modifying the copy now. And this copy needs to be lighter, but with less the soft edge. So this is going to be like the lightest part, this shape. And let me try with a different blending mode, so that will work. Probably will work better. Could be overlay. Let's try with overlay. So we have that, and maybe overall everything should be a bit more transparent. But we are getting some kind of line there, alright? So these parts are always tricky. So let's keep it like that. Okay, and I think we are almost done. Maybe at this part it shouldn't be 4 here, because there is one part at the top that is actually a bit darker. So I will just move this here. Maybe a bit higher there. Alright, so now I have this, and I will duplicate this group. And I will flip the layer, so it's around here now, and I will put it here. I know that the design is actually different, but I will use this one as a base. Alright, so now I will hide everything, and I will start First, adapting the shape to this mustache. Actually, I need less points here, I think. There. Alright, let's say there. Then we have the shading. So the shading should be around here. And the right, I think it's this one, it should be around here. And I will move this to the side in the meantime. I want to take the color, because the color of this one is actually different. It's a bit lighter. You can see there. And now the shine should also be a bit lighter. So we have this here. And let me see, maybe on the shadow here, the shading, it should be a bit darker actually. Like that. And now I'm going to open the bottom part and go to this one and copy and paste. And duplicate this just to make this bottom part also darker. So maybe we'll change also the opacity here, and maybe the color is going to be a bit darker. Yeah, around that. Okay, and now the shine we had, this one, we will make it a shadow or a shade. So I will isolate this shape first. So this shape here, instead of being white, is going to be darker, maybe like that. Yeah, let's say like that. And then I will take the second one and I will also make it darker. Okay, like that. Yeah. And then the third one is going to be here. And it is also going to be darker. Okay, so yeah, they are not exactly the same, they are not the same colors, but let's just move on for now. So let's say we have this done. So we have the bottom part of the character is already done. So let's do the eyebrows. All right. So I will close all these groups, and the eyebrows are going to be on top of the eyes. So I will create a vector layer here, create a group, call it eyebrows. Now I will hide, I will show the original one. And look, I will create a circle. I can get this around here and just adjust the curvature there. And now I will pick a neutral color. I guess it's going to be this. Actually, I'm going to pick the dark color. So they are going to be dark. And I will copy and paste this one, flip it, and put it in the position of the other one. There. And it's also going to be dark. So that way I'm going to just create the shine for this. So I will create a new vector layer. And now, actually I'm going to copy this shape here, but I'm going to make it lighter. Let me show you actually here. I'm going to make it lighter and with some soft edge. Maybe that. And now I'm going to mask. So there you have. Let me see how different it is. Well, it's not too bad. Maybe let me try a blending mode. Something could help here. Not really. Let's keep it normal. Alright. So I will copy and paste this shape here. And now I will adapt it to the other eyebrow. So let me see how is the light for this one. It's about like something like that. And maybe a bit more transparent could work. Yeah, the same for this one, a bit more transparent. And now we are going to create the shadow of the eyebrow. So I'm just going to create a new vector layer and I will put it under the eyebrows layer, and I will just paste the shape I had before, but I need to set this layer to don't mask this layer, so they are not going to be part of the mask. And I will set this layer to multiply. Okay, so we are already very close to the original illustration, so it will be, let's say, something like that. Maybe the soft edge is too big, so I will reduce that, maybe here. Okay, and now copy and paste. I will flip this and put it around here, and now this one has a bit more of shadow at the other side, maybe something like that. Okay, let's say this is ready. All right, so here is how it is looking so far in comparison. So at the left we have the bitmap, and at the right we have the vector version. Okay, I really want to finish now. I will create the ears. All right, let me think about how to do that. So the ears should be on top of the head, so I will create the ear here, and I will group with selection and call this group ear, sorry, ear there. Now let's draw the ear. So let me think about that. So for the ear, there is a tricky part here, because half of the ear is on top of the head and the other half is behind the head. So we will need to rig something that can work on top and behind. So first I will just draw this part that will be on top. So I will just leave it, let's say I will leave it like that. So you see I'm just drawing half of the ear in this layer. Okay, let's say here. So I'm going to paint this. I'm going to reset this, but I want to take the neutral color from the ear, which is, I think it's this one. Okay, so we have one half of the ear, and actually I will call this ear top. All right, and actually I will take the chance and I will just copy and paste the ear here to create the second one, and yeah, it fits. I will just make a few adjustments, but it's very similar. So this is the second ear, and I will just use this color now. Okay, so we have half of both ears here, and now I'm going to start the shading for this. So I will create a new vector layer. I will create a mask for this, and of course I will create a circle here, maybe create some new points around here. So I think the shading goes like this, something like that. So now I will set soft edge, not too much, maybe there, and I will pick the color from the darkest part here, and maybe a blending mode will be good too. Which one? I don't know, maybe luminosity. Yeah, I think luminosity would work, so I will just change the opacity there. Okay, let's say this, and I think I want it to have more soft edge actually around here. Okay, and now if I want some darker parts, I can duplicate this and make it a bit darker, and maybe have less blur here. So yeah, we got that. Alright, let's say I'm happy with this. Now I will create the shine, so I will call this shading, and now I will create the shine or the highlights. I don't know how to call that, but again, just a circle, and I will pick this color and I will set the blur bigger, and I think we are very close now. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and now we are going to reproduce this in the other one. So I will just copy and paste this shape, but in this case the the shading is going in the opposite direction, so it is something like this. And maybe I will copy the darker part. I'm not even sure if there is a darker part in this case, but I will just create a darker part here, and I will set the soft edge to be a bit bigger, like that. And now I will copy in the shine layer, I will just copy this shine and I will put it here. And I think in this case it needs to be brighter. So, okay, let's say something like that. Alright. So I have half of the ears done. Let me fix something here. I think this one looks better, a bit rounder. Alright, and now before doing the other part, I'm going to do the shadow of the ears on top of the head. So I'm going to go to the head, and here I have one shading, and here I have the second shading. I will just copy this shape here because I think it's similar. So let's say we are going to put this here, and I will copy it again, and I will make it darker here, and maybe with less soft edge. So I want something like that. Yeah, let's say something like that. And yeah, I think that's okay. So now I'm going to copy this and put it at the other side. I think I need to change the color of this one. Alright, let's say we are fine. Alright. Now I'm going to do the bottom part of the ears. So I will create a new vector layer, and I will put the head on top of that. So now I will group with selection and select ear bottom, just give that name to it, and I will draw the, I don't know what did I hide. Okay, I will hide the character, and now I will draw, I don't know what I am doing. Okay, here I will draw the bottom part of the ear. So it will be a simple shape like this and this. So I think we are done here, and now maybe we'll add some curvature there. Yeah, and now I will copy and paste, and we'll create this white part, which is a bit smaller than the other one. Let's say there. So let me see how this is working. So I think both, I haven't painted them, so I will paint the shape and reset this. So this shape is going to have this color, and this other shape is going to have this color. And I think I did the opposite. I don't know what I am doing anymore. Let me, I haven't painted this. I haven't painted. Okay, so yeah, I will paint this one now. Sorry, I just painted one of the shapes. So now let's say I have this. Alright, and actually for this ear I will copy the same, I will copy the same color of the top ear. Where is the top ear? This one. I will copy this one and I will paste it on the bottom one, so I know they are sharing the same color. And I don't know what I did. Where is the head now? Oh, I put the head inside of the ear. That was a mistake. I'm tired already. This is too long. But okay, we are so close. So now I have this, and the only thing left, I think, is actually I will pick the lighter color here for the ear. And what I'm going to do is to create the darker color around here and create a soft edge. Yeah, let's say it's something like that. Okay, so I have this. Maybe a blending mode will work nicely here. Or maybe not. Yeah, I don't want a blending mode anymore. So here I will create again a mask for this mask there. And now in order to match the shading of the top ear, what I'm going to do is to go to the top ear and I will copy and paste all this shading. So copy and I'll create a new layer here and just paste it. No, I did it wrong. I will create a new layer and paste this shading, but I think on the top, on the ear top, actually the blending mode is luminosity, so I need to set this one to also luminosity, which is here. Okay, I think now it is working better. So now the shading is the same on both parts of the ears. Now something that I noticed is that actually maybe the white part of the ear should be in a separated layer. So I will just cut the white part and put it on top and create a mask for this one. So I will just group with selection. So let's call this white part. And now I will take the shading of the white part and put it here. And now I will group this mask inside. Yeah, I think that works better. So I have two masks there. And let me see how it is going. Look, I mean, it's kind of working, no? And now let's hope I can duplicate all this. So I will open the ear bottom. I will copy and paste all these points. Okay, I should separate the ears in different layers, but I am too lazy already. So I just copying it, everything in the same layer. But the ideal will be to have those separated, like one layer per ear. It will make easier to animate everything, but I don't care. I don't care anymore. So we have that part of the ear, and now I'm going to copy the shading, which is, where is the shading? It should be here. I think I broke the shading. Where is it? Yeah, I think I broke the shading. I will have to copy it again. So I will copy all this, paste it here. Okay, now it's working again. I think, yes, it is working again. And now I will duplicate the shine here, and I will put the shine here on top. Okay, so I'm just copying the shine here, and then I will add some more shading here, because actually this part, actually this shade should be on top. There. Okay, I will just copy this one, and I will paint this one a bit more like a darker blue, I guess. I don't know what blending mode I have here, but anyway, let's say this is good. And now I need to create the white part, so I will just copy and paste this white part, flip it, and put it here. Look, it's not looking bad. And the shading, in this case, it is around here, and it is way softer. And I think it's a bit more purple even. Yeah, maybe more like that and even softer. Okay, so we have it working here. And now we are only missing the hair. Actually, this shading is not really working. It's not the same color. Okay, this is closer. Sorry, I just saw that. And now the hair. If you want, I don't want to continue, but yeah, I want to finish this. This is going to be like 3 hours long. I don't know. So I will create the hair should be, let me see, on top of the ears. So I will just put it here, create a new vector layer, create a new group with selection and call this hair. Okay, and now I'm going to show the original drawing, and I think for the hair probably I will have to create several circles, several ovals, one here. So this is going to be one single mask here, so I will just paint this one with this color. So let me actually group this one already. So I want to create a mask for this one, and now create a new vector layer. I will copy and paste, copy and paste this one here and set this color. Let me show you what I am doing. I just created two circles in two different layers, that's it. And now I will make this a bit lighter and with soft edge around there, and now I will create a mask for this. So group mask inside there. Okay, now I need to match the colors, so I think maybe this one needs some kind of blending mode. I think I like this one, but way lower. Maybe another color, maybe something more purple and darker. Okay, let's say it is something like this. Now I'm going to create the shading, so another circle, of course, this time darker, yeah, something like that. Okay, I think the original color is a bit too blue. I need to have it a bit more brown. Yeah, maybe around here. Okay, so everything is a bit too blue here, especially this shape actually. So I will make it more red. Okay, let's say I'm happy with this. I don't want to do this anymore. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this one, and let me just put the origin of the layer here. So I will move the entire layer and put it around here and put this on bottom of the other one. So I have the second here, and now I will just adapt the details. So the shape is not exactly the same, so it will be here, and then the shine is actually around here, and now the shading is around here. Okay, I'm doing everything very quickly now. So yeah, my hair is a bit more purple than the original hair, but you will have to forgive me for that. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this layer again, but actually I will call this hair bottom. Hair bottom there, and I will put this under the head and under the ear also. So basically I want to create this one here. So I will just move the layer here, but now I'm going to edit the details. And actually this one should be way darker than the other. So I'll just pick the dark color there. And then we have the darkest here. Let me see how that is looking. Oh no, this is actually the shine. So the shine should be on top around here. And the other one is the shading. So I will just move it here. It's not making it too dark, so I will make it dark like that. Okay, and actually now I'm going to copy this shape and I will paste it on this here because I want more shading around here. I want to get a closer color. Alright, let's suppose that's fine. Okay, and now since I'm feeling very lazy now, I mean everything is my fault. I wanted to do this tutorial, but it has been so long. What I want to do is, you know, it has this extra hair, so I will just paint it here on top of everything. So there's one thread here, and I will copy and paste this one, put it here. Okay, so now I have both hairs. I need to paint them. So one here, another one here, and I will pick that color. and now I will copy this hair and I will put it in the hair bottom. I will just paste it here, but I'm going to flip it and move it here. There, I think. And actually this one has a little blur, so I will apply a soft edge here. 1 pixel only. Yeah, something like that. So let me just hide everything now. And here you have it. For some reason that is not being shown, I need to check that, but here you have our vector version of this character and the bitmap. It is not exactly the same, but it is very similar. And yeah, I'm happy. Oh no, actually I need to create the shadow there. Okay, no, this is very important. The shading of the hair. I will just copy this one and paste it here. So these two should be way darker. Maybe around there, no? Maybe a bit more red, I think. They are, yeah, they are more like that. So I'm going to put this here. Yeah, something like that. So now it is done. So here you have it, the original version done with a bitmap tool and this version done in a very short time using vectors. And of course I can rig that now. I won't do it for this tutorial, but let me show you. I think I have a version already rigged, so I want to show you that one. Because I mean I did this before doing the tutorial, just to be sure that I could do it. So I think this is the version that I already rigged. Here you have it. I think this one looks nicer than the one in the tutorial, but here is rigged, and we have a little smart bone to move this. Okay, and we have some dynamics to move the hair and the ears, so you can see it moving there. So yeah, I won't rig it, but just wanted to spend like 3 hours in a tutorial. The good part is that YouTube, you can change the speed of the video, so please watch this video like at 10x or something. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Bye.